Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome back to Transmutation Station. This is MajesticMagi with my beautiful co-host, Neighborhood Hope Dealer, and we're back again. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. Readjusting, recalibrating, feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Transitioning things and getting back in the game
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so what are we're going to talk about divine justice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or we always just start talking about anything and everything wherever spirit leads us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we always kind of need something to kind of go on. And welcome everyone. If you have an opportunity to watch it, if you're watching now, thank you for joining. If you're watching later, we hope that the frequency that is involved within this program of Transmutation Station today delivers divinely to you and through you. Hi, Shannon. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, divine justice. I think it means a little bit of different for everyone in retrospect, but it's kind of like that, God don't play when it comes to his kids. It's the recalibration of the universe. And the temple's in your body is your temple, but it's really the body is the soul temple, So I think that overall in the grander scheme of things that hopefully people are kind of rethinking and readjusting to how we treat others, how we are within our own homes, and how we feel in our own hearts, and we can extend out that same vibrational spirit. And even if you don't like somebody or you don't care to be in a place or a situation, it doesn't mean that you have to negatively react or respond. We still owe people respect no matter what. And I also kind of think of divine justice too, in the sense of like, if people wish anybody harm or whatever they're doing, they're only doing it to themselves. I said that multiple times. So we don't even got to mess with that small shit, because there's way bigger things going on in the world. And if you can look at somebody else with those same eyes of compassion that you would have for somebody that, let's say, that's your family member or somebody that's your best friend or that you truly love, you don't, like I said, you don't have to, spend evenings at their home or anything like that, but it's a vibrational frequency that you can wish somebody well and not have to like them, or you don't have to like them or agree with them. It's just actually a commonality of respect, you know what I mean? And so I think that in the recalibration in the divine justice also would be the recalibration of perception, healing the old wounds, how we see ourselves, how we view the world, and things like that. So everything I feel like is kind of balancing and readjusting around. And what are your thoughts?
So when I hear the term divine justice, the world card or the justice card comes to my mind. You get what you deserve. That's my you get what you deserve part.
Right. So people,
Divine,
yeah.
yeah, divine justice pisses people off because it's not the justice. Very often, it's not the justice that people think one that they deserve, or
Right.
or the one that they imagine the way that they imagine it would look.
Yeah, man. So sometimes whatever you could dish out to somebody, God's got something even fucking worse for them. So they better hold on to their assholes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even gotta do nothing. That was a little raw. That was Majestic Magi in the raw. I'm just being honest.
Fuck with the road.
Um, hey
But
Skywalker.
hey,
She
everybody, what's popping, y'all?
Hi. Yeah, so in I do believe justice is being served on both sides of the spectrum and almost instantly. You know what I mean? And uh and also we're recalibrating, rebalancing our frequency and in restoration to be able to receive that balance, that equal balance as well.
And so one of the things that you said that I want to harp in on was you was like, God don't play by his kids, and and,
Uh,
and he
he don't.
don't like not even a little bit, not even. It's crazy because you're like, don't worry about karma. So let's. I always go in the Gemini mind. I feel like I have a Gemini mind, but I'm a Libra moon, so my mind is kind of. I guess I see both sides because I'm Libra. I have to be able to evaluate most perspectives. I see the side of, okay, look, I wanna help people. I wanna be, I wanna be a good person. and I'm spiritual XYZ, so I don't want to wish bad on anybody.
Right.
So I see that side, man, and that's mostly the side I choose. However, it would be inhuman of me to be like, man, bruh, I wish sometimes I'd be wishing that I could just do them how they did me. Absolutely. Or worse. But in the same sense, in that same breath, that goes back to don't fuck with God's kids, because you said this as well. Listen, and I tell people this all the time. God made you. When he do something to you, listen, there's a scripture that says against um God protects those who love him and are pure at heart against and against anyone who essentially anybody who fuck with people like that. Against them there's no law. God say there is no fucking holds barred for anybody who fuck with his kids. He say I don't, it's nothing off limits to me. I don't give a fuck if it's your daughter, I don't give a fuck if it's your dog, I don't give a fuck if it's you. Nothing is off limits to me. Off limits to me when you go against me and you fuck with my kids. And that's what people don't get, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I rock with the boy. So and because I know that about him, and because my faith's so strong in him, I'm even when people do the worst to me, even when people do the unimaginable to me, I know that I am bound by this earthly realm. God, the God I serve, I don't know who you serve, but the God I serve, he don't follow these earthly rules. And he also told me that when you fuck with my kids, it's nothing off, it's nothing, everything up, it's up. You can, anybody in your family, you could get it. So I just, I leave it to God. That's, to me, that's divine judgment, because it's not for me to do you anything. It's not for me. I'm not. God said, "Vengeance is mine," said the Lord.
Yeah, actually, that just rolled through my mind. Yeah, because I definitely agree, and that's the thing. It's almost like, the compassion when, because by you picking up and going on your day and actually not reacting, even though, yeah, you're right. Where there's sometimes we're like, man, is it up? It's not up to us, and so you have to let it go and the best that you can. That doesn't mean that you don't roll through the emotions and all the other things that come along with that. But I do in my heart of hearts believe everything you just said. I agree 100%.
That's the hardest part of faith, because it's hard to have faith when a motherfucker they done you wrong, like kill somebody in your family, wrong. Like I think it's the story of Job. I think that's I always get it mixed up, where God took everything from him and God, the devil and Job, the devil and God conversation, and he said, look, I'm gonna show you that Job, my boy, he gonna follow me to the end. And so the devil was like, bet, let's see. So the devil and God just started doing fucked up shit to him. They started taking his family. They killed this man's whole family, sent his farm through famine, and not once did he fold on God. And that showed his strength in God. So that's faith in God. A lot of people don't have that Job ass faith. They have God didn't give me what I want. Let me see what the devil talking about type faith. And I don't got time.
Yeah, no, I don't got. I agree. It's kind of interesting because how I like to sometimes share personal. I just like to share personal stories, and I honestly, even to this day, I don't know why, but because I did have every right to actually, and that's one thing too. I guess I want to go into like when people, I think a lot of organized religions like force or project for not to question God, not to this or that, and that could be a whole nother topic. But no, question my faith, no. But even when things are kind of messed up or whatever, it's like I'm not even never been mad at God. You know what I mean? I haven't. I don't get it. Like and everybody has a story, but I've never been mad at God. I've never said, "Oh, God did this to me." No.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I ain't ever been like listen, because I feel like my relationship I have with God, I'd be like, if anybody know me, I'm like, all right, God, the fuck is this? Wait, motherfucker, what we talking about? Is this what we doing today? But I'm not like, because I understand God is God, and I understand the circle of life. I understand that, shit. Like I don't live in denial, and I was talking about that too. Like I was talking about just like death and shit like that. Like people live in denial that they're gonna fucking die. Like
right.
That causes them to live a false reality. Like it's just it's a terrible seed to sprout any thought from. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
once you accept your mortality, you begin to live. Hopefully, and I said, don't let it discourage you. Let it inspire you. But that's all a part of divine justice. Like you can't even start to live your real life until you accept that you're gonna die. Period.
Right. And then also too, I think I just got mine zapped. Go into to collaborate on what you had just said about living. Yeah, I mean, we can look around us. I love your the things that you've been doing lately about the gratitude and stuff, and that's true, because it's like you see, and it's not about being jealous or mad at people, but it's like, how many times a day do you see people that like just escaped death, but they're still running around acting crazy? It's like, dude, it's so much bigger than this little shit that you think is this little small world. It's way bigger. And they still ain't learning nothing. And it's kind of
these motherfuckers.
I know we're gonna have to do a these motherfuckers part 2 for sure, because I think that's where I probably, if that's the correct term, I think that's where I kind of get righteously angry, and I gotta step aside and just be like, oh, give it to God, because I'm trying to understand or wrap my head around it. Not that I think that I'm better. I'm not. I'm just who I am. But I'm just trying to figure out where did they not think that there was another hand or a divine energy involved in waking? That's to me, that's an awakening as well. If God spared your life, man, how come you ain't like looking at life from a whole nother perspective? Or
all them, like that was me, because so I don't, and that's my thing either. I always say in the neighborhood, I don't care who you or don't believe in. If you think you God, then fucking praise yourself. But as for me and my house, how the
right grew up. Yeah, a lot of and that's the thing too. A lot of people, and I think that there's a lot of misconception too when it comes around to like the whole eye for an eye thing and all that. That's not what that means. It doesn't mean, because nothing stops unless nothing stops unless somebody stops it. Everything comes back full circle or transitions, keeps rolling in time unless somebody breaks it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't mean go and do unto others as you'd have done unto you, right? So like I said, you don't have to like people. You don't have to like them, but ask yourself, how would you feel if somebody did that to you? Or
question. People don't put themselves in other people's shoes enough. Like if somebody, I love to ask men, like, let's say you're dating somebody, like, would you date you, or would you want your daughter to date you? If you want your daughter to date you, then you shouldn't be doing whatever you're doing.
Right. And how exactly. Would you want your daughter to be treated that way? Would you want your son to be treated that way? Would you want somebody to treat anybody that you love that way?
That's my spell. Like I don't do spells. I don't believe in spells, but I don't need men who do me wrong. I say, I wish a daughter on you.
You ever notice like there's like I come from a family of 3 daughters. Mm-hmm. So I'm one of 3 daughters. So my dad had all girls and 1 boy. Yeah. And that is usually, if you think about that, it makes you wonder. But because it makes you wonder, but I thought about that before too, not in a negative way toward my dad, but I was wondering like what was going on like in past lives. So what was that lesson? But I think it's really to break open the heart too, because the women and men think differently in a sense. And then, if you got like these hard wall militant men, then of course they got all these daughters that are going to break down their walls, right?
Yeah.
Eventually they're gonna, find some compassion, maybe. But my dad's not a negative man toward women or nothing like that. He never was. He's militant though, but I love him.
I love a good militant person.
But I'm militant too sometimes, so I can see the it's funny when you ever see your own mannerisms and like from your parents, like you're like, what, you ever stop yourself and you try to be like, whoa, that was I called my dad Harry G. I was like, whoa, that was a Harry G moment.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. It's kind of funny, but I love the whole evolution in general. If you think about it, I mean, we can unravel divine justice in so many ways. You know, it's like being young and or just the ways that we think, but we think we have a new way to prospectively think every day and to grow and evolve, and that could be entailed in that as well. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's really interesting to see how things really play out, and I'm looking forward to all the rest of it too. I mean, hey, it only can we're only navigating, we're only climbing ladders from here, so
I think if we're talking like astrologically, I think we're in a time of divine justice.
I think that too, because
That when the first show will come last and the last show will come first and the first show will come last. I think that is the time. And I think that what are we in the Aquarian age? We just left the Piscean age. So we are in no, we just left the what age did we come out of? Oh yeah, Capricorn.
I did. It wasn't it Pisces? Pisces, do as you're told, say as you're told, and now we're in the Aquarian age.
Nah, Cap.
We're coming into
Aquarius. We're going
okay.
to the Piscean age. That's gonna be trippy. But right now we're
every Piscean age, everybody's gonna be opening up to their big old hearts, their big old sensitive hearts.
And so right now
they have to show some emotion.
Right now, open up to their uniqueness, to their gifts. So everybody who opens up to their gift in this time period will flourish. Everybody who isn't afraid to take a chance and be them, they like if they take that leap of faith, they'll realize they can fly. But they have to be brave enough to do it. And what I found is a lot of people don't have courage. They don't have a heart. And that saddens me because I'm a big old lion and I got so much heart. It's probably too much. The Boosie got a song. His heart gonna probably get me zipped up in the body bag, probably. It's so big, and I can't believe some motherfuckers ain't got heart. Like how you on? Like it disappoints me to see people without heart. Like everything, your whole life could be completely different if you just had. We need to go fucking see the wizard, bitch, to get people some hearts.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. I think like this whole, well, obviously it was a really a transformative period, I guess you would say, and I think a lot of people were shedding their old skin and stuff. And there's, like we spoke about it before, there's so many layers. There's so many layers of project. I like when you use projection because it's like the projected pain and things like that, even residually and aurically that sticks in your energetic field, and some like I think that even when we think we've resolved things, there's certain things that are like kind of still trigger, and then when those triggers come around, and we spoke about triggers before, but it's even residual energy as well. And then, but when it comes to surface, when, it's being brought to the surface so it can pass. And maybe you don't have to do anything at all, but just let it come to the surface. And when it does, wash it away. Because if it strikes an emotion of any sort, there's an old thing, there's an old saying, they said in order to get into, if you're interviewed, I know somebody told me this years ago, if you're interviewed, like to go into the interview to actually obtain your nursing, or probably I would imagine it would be for a doctorate or anything higher level in the medical field, and they and I don't know if they still do it or not, but they say if they ask you about one of the hardest times in your life, and they say that you're not healed from it if you speak about it and then you still like have emotion, like you still cry about it. I don't know, do I agree with that? Because sometimes I get where like falling to the ground crying, so to speak, where you like happened yesterday, but everybody heals and grieves in their own way. But sometimes, you could still like hear that song, if we're thinking about a time or the past loved one or something, and you could, maybe that love just sparks your heart and you get your eyes wide, and it's kind of like, man, you don't forget about them, but something just triggers you and you just like have that that little emotion. And I think that that's a beautiful emotion as well, sometimes, because it's almost like spiritually it's almost like spiritually in that moment, if that brings sentiment to your eyes, then that's them hugging you in spirit. You know what I mean?
I'll take
And yeah, and I, I've had moments of all sorts like that, but I also am in gratitude of them too, because you always hold things close to you, to your heart, that like that. But when you have those little sparks of moments, and you could be having, it's divine, it's all divine. God even hugs you through other people too. It's that universal love. It's like I've had those moments as well, and they're some of the most beautiful moments I've ever seen in my life. Like nobody would ever even, you know what I mean? But they're just for you. And yeah, and Godspeed. You know what? I don't know why I wanted and that's divine justice in a way too, because you could be walking somewhere feeling, how many people has this happened to? I hope that, I guess maybe me speaking on this is wanting to maybe help people look at things from a different perspective too, because if you're feeling lonely or sad or whatever you're feeling, and then like you could just walk into like a store, a 7-Eleven or something, and somebody just acknowledges you, and even an everyday passing conversation, and they may not even be, it's just how, like, on both sides of the spectrum, sometimes when we spoke about, like people getting like body snatched and psychic, like possession and that. But on the other side of the spectrum, God speaks through a lot of people, so and gives you a message. You know what I mean? Like if somebody just like looks at you and and just and you get that, you'll feel that feeling, and it may just be random, but I've seen God walk through many people too. So, and I hope people are able to experience more of those moments as of late than the negative ones. And actually, and I also wish and hope that, that it touches their heart in a way that not even words can explain. I wish everybody feels that, because it's almost like that little light bulb goes off. It's like something just goes off, and you're like, whoa, that just happened. And those are beautiful moments as well. Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, conclusion we've come to is that divine justice could be anything. It could look like anything. I don't know. I feel like I'm living in divine justice. Fuck the dumb shit. I'm excited.
Me too. I feel it too. And that it's just, we just have better navigational tools to dodge the bullets. Yes. Cheers to that one. And also I did a reading the other night, and it was kind of like, when you're thinking about for two, I think that a lot of the life reviews and things that are coming up and going through the transformational process, it's like you're kind of like getting those little pings, like a ping on the map, ping, 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 when you're thinking about it. You're kind of seeing how everything plays out and comes together, but it's also opening up what exactly it's bringing you to your purpose. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways too. So showing people who they are and what they came for, what they came to be, right? Be loving, but not open to something that is parasitic to your spirit. I agree, Amber. Okay.
I don't know. I'd be so open to, like, I can't never tell what's a parasite or not, but I'm learning. Divine justice put me on.
Hey, here's the thing. I think that sometimes we don't know until we know. When you're meant to know, you're gonna know. And we have to go through, none of us, we all have to go through our own stuff too. You know what I mean? And that's where I think that compassion comes in as well, as we always speak about. And you live and you learn. But it gives you the red lights. It gives you the red lights, the yellow lights, and the go lights. and I just pulled beauty, huh?
So one, that's crazy because, okay, so it's very few people in the world that know this, but anytime you come to any city, like all of my appliances are called beauty or beautiful. Yeah, so I call my, like, it's an old girlfriend I used to date, and she used to call me Beauty. So everything I have, like my internet at my house, if you come, my Wi-Fi is named Beauty. or beautiful. Like all of my
Oh,
called beautiful. So that's one thing. And another thing I wanted to say, I want to go back to, you were talking about tears earlier. And I think
yeah,
I can tell you that tears are indicators. I think tears are some of the most important things that we have. They're very cleansing. You were talking, you were trying to differentiate between, the good tears and the unhealed tears. For me, the unhealed tears are the moments of distress, if that makes sense. I
yeah.
recently had kind of like an episode, like somebody did something, and I, it triggered me, and I went down a rabbit hole that Alice could not get herself out of. My friend, I just couldn't, and the tears came and came and came and came, and I couldn't stop them, but they needed to, because it was alert that I was not healed from that.
Mhm.
And there was some work that needed to be done, and it still needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
then also I can, I thought about, in the same breath, I thought about my grandmother earlier today, and my eyes welled up. But
Oh,
it wasn't a sad well up. It was just like, oh damn, I missed her crazy fucking ass. I wish you was here, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it wasn't an anguish. It wasn't a, oh no, it was just like, fuck out, oh damn, So I
yeah.
those two, and so you should be able to
Mhm.
differentiate the two
Mhm.
in all of your emotions. And I think that all goes back to knowing yourself. If you know yourself, if you truly know yourself, you'll be able to tell what side of divine justice you'll be on.
Right. I want to touch base on when you had said about the rabbit hole and crying, and crying and going down that rabbit hole kind of thing. But
Mhm.
maybe we can transmute that momentarily and say that maybe part of that feeling, because even though you don't think, remember we spoke before about mediumship and things like that, or and energetically maybe it's not just yours, yeah, some of it's yours, but what if you're feeling that feeling for all of the unhealed spirits,
Mm,
that, you know what I mean? And so you know when you get those overwhelming where, and that could go on lots of, but you could be a conduit for that. And so you're not just crying and clearing. I will see how I start like crying, crying and clearing your own energetic field, but you're also crying and clearing for um
girl.
energy that's actually in that moment with you. And so that's a big deal.
Ooh, I'm over it. That's what I be trying to tell people. Everybody be like, I'm a spiritualist. I wanna have this. I wanna have a gift. I wanna be a psychic. I get, bitch. No, you don't. The fuck, when you just crying hard for, like, just for humanity, bitch. For real, not for play, not on some
Right, right.
electric shit.
I
For real, bitch. You can't.
and and empathically and stuff, and even even growing up, it's not, yeah, we're not complaining about it, but the thing is like, when you're navigating through all of that, and even especially if you and sometimes I'll be honest, I can speak for myself. Sometimes I didn't understand it myself until after. That's when the light bulb pinged, because I could, I've woke up crying lots of times, and I'm like, man, I wasn't having no messed up dreams. I just would wake up and I could feel, it was feeling just like something hit, like was bombarding me. But, and then, when you're going through and you're feeling all the energy, and almost, sometimes you just feel like something's up. You don't know what the fuck it is, but something's up. And it just feels like sticky and heavy, and we're like, whoa, or like that flatlined feeling. That's like, and really, and you have to be able to discern, because automatically and I'm grateful to be able to, up until the point that I can, to share that it's not always actually just, it's not mine sometimes. It's like it is, because you're a conduit, but in a way you can you're a conduit, so it can zone in on you, but you have to be able to like give yourself that space to actually, and that's balance out and discern and be able to figure out, okay, is this mine, or is this other sticky ass energy I'm picking up from? Is it worldly? Is it somebody in my circle? Is it, that's it? It's a lot of it. So different variations to it all, honestly. So it's, I don't know.
Do you see this little dot right here?
I do. It looks like a sunshine dot. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's cool. No, that's like that's a baby blue. That's a Gabriel orb. Archangel Gabriel. Look at that.
Look, it's some type of angels. When I say the angels be with
it
me.
Is. It looks baby blue.
That's crazy.
I heard Gabriel, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, God, I just heard God is my light.
That part.
God is my light.
Everything like this little light of mine head is, bitch.
Yeah. I'll be on my way driving. I'll be on my way driving somewhere singing that. I used to sing that when I was little all the time. And it still pops in my head, and then I'll just kind of bopping around singing it. Just like that the little kid in me.
But Anaconda went ain't for the weak. How about that? How about
no, it's not. And then here, and here's something too that's opening up. When I was speaking about kind of going through those reviews, and when it kind of opened up when in a reading the other day, but anyway, it's sometimes when we're speaking about righteous anger and hell, it's like, man, you wish you could just like say, good, don't you? It's like, I'm not better, but don't you see this shit? And then, but the thing is that when people are meant to wake up, they will, and so they choose. And then that's the hard part too, when we're speaking about, letting go and things like that, because it doesn't, when you said it does, if it's your family members, if it doesn't matter who it is, there's going to be people that you have to walk away from until they're, they can catch up, but you don't always know how that's going to play out, and to be able to separate, your emotions and see it from a bigger perspective, versus like the bloodline stuff and things like that, because it can be anybody, and people just like God can jump through anybody at any time. It's on all sides of it, and that's the crazy part.
I don't get that's why I tell people it's important to meditate alone and have a long time, because just like we open ourselves up to God and good spirits, that openness is not a filter, is not a block. Everything trying to get in you.
Well, yeah. And and I man, I've gone to bed praying. Like, I mean, obviously we pray all the time, but I mean, I meant when I guess I would go back, and what I mean is I've fought energy pretty hard lots of times. That, and you don't realize that and even if you're naturally fighting it and you don't realize what's going on in the moment, but your auric field's fighting against it, you know what I mean? It really can wipe you out. It wipes you out a lot. It's very draining energetically and emotionally sometimes. We both puffed at the same time. It looks beautiful where you're at, though.
Oh, it is. It is super beautiful out here. That's why I came out here, but I can't stay too long. I can't listen, so I can't sit on my ass for too long. I want to lay down on my stomach.
I know. I hear you. I'm gonna get myself adjusted for the evening as well. I love being on here with you though, and we can better fit our schedules. And so
are you just getting off
of work?
Yeah.
About a couple hours ago.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but I had to go do all these. I had to do a bunch of man. Shoot, I think it's hard. I think it's harder walking into and doing all of the stuff the preliminary stuff you have to do. Here I'm driving all over and doing like CPR classes and going like yeah, dude, 30 and 2, don't mess with me. No, it's crazy, but I mean, I think a lot of times we get tail spinned, and so it's like, all right, I'm good now.
Oh, we
good. I realized this week I realized as patient as I am, I'm impatient. Because in my mind I can see things from start to finish. And I was like, I have it like all laid out in my mind, and it'd be like, but then when it's not moving, the things aren't moving as fast as I want them to. But I am impatient sometimes, even though I thought I was very patient.
Hey, my very
So,
patient. I'm with you on that, my girl.
mm,
But yeah, today's a
yeah,
beautiful day. Today has been a beautiful day. There have been beautiful days, and the days are only going to get more beautiful. I just hope everybody's on the side of divine justice that they would like to be on. And by now, you know what side you on.
yep, and yes, and yeah, and claim it, change it, the perception, change the perception. And I even, I can speak on that too. I've realized that too. Like realizing changing how we're thinking about things and what we're going to give energy to and stuff like that. And it's about laying down the swords in a way too, because I think that so many of us have fought for so long, that it's almost like carrying that weight and that energetic tool with you that you don't need anymore. I mean, because you already inherited the knowledge, you already inherited the wisdom, so you can lay your swords down a little bit and start attracting in the frequencies that are meant to be around you and surround yourself with and allow them to come to you. So and that's so the divine can meet you with what you're manifesting and wishing for, right? Or asking for.
I'm trying to rest. Like that's one of my things I'm doing. Like, I feel like a track runner who just crossed the finish line and faints in tiredness. I won the race, but I'm exhausted.
Yes. I'm going to close us out with this card I just pulled. Purpose. And I'm going to read it because it's a card, but it was purpose.
Okay.
And the angels remind you that every situation or person is placed on your path with a purpose. It may be to strengthen you, offer you an opportunity to resolve or forgive the past, release old patterns, or for enjoyment. Your life purpose is ultimately to do that which brings you joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment. Seeking these soul qualities will place you on the path of your destiny. Once your life path, I'm laughing because we just said this. Walk in love spirit. Okay. Sometimes these soul qualities will place you on the path of your destiny. Once on your path, allow nothing or no one to deflect you from your mission, divine justice. Your guidance is to ask your angel to help you find your purpose of your current situation, or if you are ready, your life mission. Align your strength, willpower, and hold your intention to fulfill your purpose. The angels will support you and you will succeed. And the affirmation with us, along with this card, is I am strong and determined.
I am strong.
We got it when we figure out how to get the camera thing right.
Strong and determined.
I am strong and determined. So divine justice too. I was thinking basically it's the frequency of accepting the sovereignty and the gifts that already are promised to us, and it doesn't always have to be material, but basically if we're created, when they say that we're created in the image of God, the God the Father, then we're not different from, and therefore those, all that same frequency does belong to us, because that's our inherent birthright. It's just actually believing and knowing that, and that goes with the courage of the heart you were speaking on too. And God didn't make no chumps.
Didn't make no ass niggas. Sorry. That's all I'm saying. And
I'm not offended.
And it's like, yo, if you afraid to go get it, then somebody else gonna go get it. And the people that be afraid to go get it be mad because somebody else don't. You can't be mad because somebody had courage and you didn't. Fuck that.
Right.
Look.
The sovereignty and the gifts that already are promised to us, and it doesn't always have to be
Making
material.
money. That's what we do. Anyway, get out our business.
Okay, no, we gotta do it. We gotta this. My friend laughs when I do this. Where it's bringing it in for God. Bringing it in for God. Yeah. Bring it in for God. Yes. And it's kind of funny because it's not funny, but I think you do too. I have a great sense of humor, and I think that people are, the whole program and a lot of things too is people are always like walking on eggshells when it comes to when we're speaking about God or religion or anything like that. And it's not disrespectfully, but God has a sense of humor too. God's made me about drop to my knees, about to piss my pants laughing at certain times when I was about to cry. And it's kind of as funny because you get like that, that little joy bug. That little joy bug, and that's a hand of the divine as well. So there's always a recalibration and transmutation in any way the energy can be brought to us. So we're ready to receive.
But God funny, I fuck with you like that. God funny as fuck. I'd be like, God, like, like
yeah.
Fuck, like he'll be. I feel like I don't have nothing to do with heaven sometimes. He'll be like, all right, everybody praying right now. Everybody Gucci, war doing what war doing, sin doing what it's supposed to do. My little like Christians over there Christians doing shit. He's like, I ain't got nothing to do right now. So he just be, you know what? Let me fuck with this individual today.
Well, yeah, because I mean, and we all have our right to our own the way we see things or whatever. But I just think that there's such a wider range of a stamp versus like just that everything has to be serious all the time. Like just because you're like laughing and joking when we're not spiritual or we're doing our own thing, it's like, no, we're people like everybody else. So but we're also, it's kind of like the Skittles, the wider range of the rainbow of colors, because the rainbow is universal love. It's universal knowledge. It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow of everything. So kind of beautiful in that, right, too.
I was listening to this reading when I was in my fucking tarot obsession. So like I am a recovering tarot addict, and I am. Oh yes, bad. And I still listen to sometimes, but I try to use them just like for motivational. But I had real bad tarot.
Right.
I had a problem. I had to cut myself clean. But anyways, so in my tarot addict journey, one of the readers, I can't remember which one. She said, always look for the rainbow. I think it was House of Oshun.
I like her. I watched her.
She said, always look for the rainbows. And she said, whenever you see the rainbows, know that everything will be okay. And so whenever I see rainbows, or whenever rainbows come to me, or whenever a rainbow is mentioned, that's just like a reminder to me that everything will be okay. So
yeah, somewhere over the rainbow, between the smoke and the clouds, the illusions and mirrors. That's where there's the rainbow. Yeah. Right. Somewhere over the rainbow.
The illusions and the smoke and mirrors.
That's that part. Maybe that should be our next one. Smoke and mirrors. That one might get us in trouble. That one might get me in trouble. I get a little passionate about unleashing those beasts.
You already knew how close I had got up. I was like, you already know we can talk about some smoke and mirrors.
We're gonna have to do These Motherfuckers Part 2 and then a Smoke and Mirrors, because I still laugh about These Motherfuckers. I think that was one of our best. But because it's fitting and we had fun with it. So, but anyways, I guess maybe we should close out this divine justice portion of Transmutation Station. Is there anything? Do you have anything in closing?
Look, let me think.
Yes. I don't know. Channel one in, sister. Here, get it. You got it. You got a message because you got Archangel Gabriel's orb right on your heart chest, sister. Right. So reel it in.
I don't know if people, and I say this, but I don't know if you believe in astrology. So a couple things, like brand tangent. I got a handy beer in hand today, but one of the things that I believe that that one can do is communicate between. So one, I think, so this tattoo on the middle of my chest is it's technically literally the avatar symbol.
I always thought it was I didn't get to ever really see it close up, but I think it looked like a sacred geometry to me.
So yeah, it's the portal between heaven and earth.
Yeah.
So I put it right over my heart. And so one of the things that I think that I always had the ability to do was, to read the, like, there's a language between the earth and the spiritual world. And I think that, um, I think astrology, along with a couple other things, is the key to reading those things. And I think that I have the ability to do that, and I think that I can do it very, very well. So with that, I say, to all the people who, if you really want to step into your divine justice, like, you can't get your justice until you until you acknowledge who you are. And you acknowledge who you are by being there authentically. And you can't pretend, and you can't lie to the universe. So if your divine justice is you not getting what you know you deserve, it's because you kept it from yourself. Because you did not use this time, you did not use this energy to accept who you were. If you're a fucking dope fiend, accept that. You get your divine justice. Hello, somebody. If you're a fucking, you love to strip, you're a stripper, do that. Get your divine justice. But the moment that you act like you are not something that you really are, divine justice will pass you over. And you'll sit around looking at everybody enjoy their life because they accepted their truth. They lived in their authenticity, and you'll just be jealous and miserable and mocking.
Right.
And those people with divine justice won't even know you fucking exist. So it's probably best for you to really just live your best life and live in your truth, so you can get what you deserve, what really makes you happy. And anything other than that is a prison, and a self-imposed prison. And I don't feel sorry for people like that.
Hey, amen. When you were speaking in the first half, when I seen like the gaffle. I seen the gaffle hit smack. Kind of like, hello, judgment call. It's true. It's true though. I mean, because there's a place for everybody in this world. That's the truth. And everybody can. And the people even that walk, I mean, the people that have walked in the darkest moments, or what they think are the darkest moments, that was the light in that path. So maybe, you walked in that moment to light up somebody out of their darkness. So don't, that's.
And so, let me go on a slight tangent, and then we can go. But this is gonna make
you're good.
It's gonna make the Christians mad. But I feel like we say shit like God don't make mistakes, and that's a common Christian colloquialism. However, you get mad at the gay, you get mad at the serial killer, you get mad at the murderer, you get mad at, you know what I'm saying? Like, God don't make mistakes. So how in the same breath can you say that and then get mad at who a person really is?
That's true. That's true.
Like, and not to make that person wrong or right, or not to make that thing wrong or right, or not to make any excuse, but that's just my question to the Christians.
That I know. That's the tricky shit. That's the tricky shit. Because everybody has a role, and we don't always. Sometimes you don't. Yeah, that's tricky.
That's my whole thing. You don't know people's mission on this. Like, you don't know their assignment. You don't know what God, had it not been for them, your life would be fucking boring. So instead of being mad at them, bitch, thank them for what they did for your life.
As long as you can get the fuck out
and run, bitch.
When it's time. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's while everything will always catapult you to where you're supposed to be. That's for sure. And that's the crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And that's the thing. There's so much. There's so much. Mm-hmm. But that's why when you when they say about you're not supposed to question God, but remember like when kids were like, I think we're supposed to question everything. I think you're supposed to question everything. Because you have to be able to build and grow your own recipes and things like that. And like a little, what are kids when they're like, what are they, like 2 years old, or when they're like, when is that stage where they're always like, but why, but that's you should be doing that your whole life, but why? And then look it up and find something out. I look if I want to know about something, I try because I'll educate myself on lots of things.
I'm gonna annoy you. I'm gonna ask you until I can't ask you. Like, bitch, stop asking me questions because I want to know, I want to understand. And if I don't understand, I'm not too proud to say that I don't understand. People be like,
Oh yeah, I'm not either. You know, I feel sometimes I think I do feel like I think sometimes I feel insecure when it comes to like if I'm bothering somebody or whatever, but I understand completely what you're saying because I wanna if I wanna understand something forwards, backwards, upside down, and sideways. I wanna feel confident in what you know what I mean? And I know a lot of times um I don't know. Sometimes I think my mind's backwards. Like it's like maybe I make things harder than what they are. But or maybe it's that because I'm that eager to understand it that I'm impatient. And so it's like some things will be all jobbled up or whatever, if that's even a word. I just made one up. But and I'll confuse myself when really it's probably then when I like step back, I'm like, oh dude, it was not that hard. Right?
about geniuses. We have an issue in that, like, we understand the most complex things in the quickest manner, but it be the simplest shit that we be like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, yeah, because like in my mind, like I said, I could see stuff from like boom, start to finish. It's like so just somebody put this little microphone on my head and listen, because when I don't have the actual words, man, it's like you know. And if I could just plug that into the computer and have everything I want to design all like created and whatever, and like or pushed out or whatever then but yeah, that's what it is. I enjoy the creative process and I enjoy actually learning and stuff, but then at some point I get frustrated, like when I get kicked out of like a program like 4 times and I'm actually really putting in the effort and I'm like, this can't be that hard, and then I get frustrated. But I think it's my energy that is impatient that is actually manifesting that unbeknownst to me sometimes, you know what I mean? So and that's kind of the slowing down and being patient as well. Ironically, I guess, if that makes sense.
Look, I'm drunk and high. I don't know what we. All right, so this is my point.
I'm not judging you or mad at you.
Thank you.
So,
I think it's a good day. Life is good. You know, even we're in divine justice, and I'm grateful to be where I am because it could have been worse because I'm not perfect and I ain't lived. I ain't lived.
no, I don't, and I don't think we should strive to be perfect either because the first anybody that thinks that or acts like they're perfect, they got the fucking deepest skeletons in their closet.
I'll take that. I hear you, my friend. It makes sense to me. It makes
Right.
sense. But
I say be free, live free, and be who you are, and have a good time because tomorrow's not promised. So as long as you're not hurting nobody and you're not hurting no one, and you're staying in your lane, stay in your lane and handle your business.
I'm at work right now. Like, wait, how? You know what I'm saying? Fuck a vacay. I feel better at work. I'm at work right now. Right now.
Yeah, you can't. But I know you can't put a price on any of that. I mean, we get to get online and talk to each other and just kick it and have fun. I love it.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, thank you for joining us tonight in Transmutation Station. We here talking about divine justice. Did you have anything that you wanted to add before we dip?
No, I guess maybe anybody that watches in the future, or if they have any suggestions or comments of maybe what they would like for us to talk about or speak about, or any suggestions, yeah, something we'll be happy to look at those and maybe delve in and open up to some topics that maybe somebody's curious about, you know. I think we just always get on and whatever we're meant to say, we say.
And that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, those are always the flight. That's always the best. But anyway, thank you all for joining, and many blessings to you all. And until next time,
bye.
bye.
Yeah.